Hello Flutter developers, my name is Vivek and this is part 2 of our block series. In the part 1 we have learned about what is block, what is cubic, what is block observer and how we can use block observer to track our changes in the variable or changes in the data, how our data is flowing through business logic to the UI. Then we have learned block provider and block builder. So in this video we will learn about the block listener, the multi-block provider and multi-block listener we will cover in upcoming video. So if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, I suggest you to subscribe my channel because whenever I upload the upcoming block series video you will get an instant notification. And I will add the link of part 1 video in description, also in the I button. So let's start about the block selector. So what is the basic difference between the block builder and a block selector? Okay, as block builder updates the UI, if you have seen in my previous video, we have used builder to update the UI any data which is coming from the controller or our Cubit class. Okay, so here is our Cubit class where we are emitting a data. So whenever a new data is get emitted, it will be catched by the block builder, and block builder rebuilds the text widget with the updated value. But in the case of block selector, we cannot update the UI. Okay, we can just do some conditional work there, right? Like let's say if we want to show a dialog on a particular value, so in our case we are taking counter as an example. So whenever the value is reaches to 5 or equals to 5, we can show a dialog. Or whenever the values is between a certain range, we can navigate from one screen to another screen. Okay, so let me comment out this for the better understanding. So first we have to take a block listener. Okay, so it has a listener parameter which takes a context and the state means the counter or the latest value which will be emitted by this text button over here. Whenever we click on this text button, it will call the increment method, and increment method will emit the data, and that emitted data will be listened by this listener. Okay, now let's see what other parameters we have. Okay, so we have a child. So let me take a child as a text. Okay, the data, let's say I have given a name it a data. Okay, so we have a block and a listener when. Okay, so how we can use this block actually? So this block, we have to tell this block listener to listen to which Cubit class or which controller class, because there might be a possibility that we have a multiple controller class or multiple Cubit class. So we have to define this block listener in block listener that I specifically that I want to listen to this Cubit class or this controller class. So we have a two option to do that. One is the block provider. I can use a block provider dot of context where I can define our Cubit class. Okay, this is the one of the way. The another way is using the context. Okay, so I can use the context dot read method, and in that I can define counter state. Okay, so these two options we have to to tell this block to listen this particular controller or to Cubit. Okay, so now let's print this statement and see the behavior of this block listener. Okay, so for the better understanding, I am giving a name as a block listener and this state, which is an upcoming value whenever we click on this click button. Okay, let me refresh. So as you can see, data is showing here from this block listener text widget. Now if I click on this button, so as you can see, we are getting in a terminal block listener 1, which is getting printed by the listener. So here we can do anything that we want. If we want to show a toast, that we can show a toast here. If we want to display a dialog whenever the value reaches to 3, that we can do a routing over here. Okay, we can do anything and we can do here. Okay, now as in a block builder we have a build when method, which is I have already explained in a previous video. So same as in a block listener, we have a listen when Okay, so let me configure this. So this takes a previous state and a new state. Okay, so I'm just returning a true for the sake of understanding purpose only. Okay, let's see what happened. So now I have written the true, and if I click on the button, so the behavior of this block listener remains same. There is no change observed. Okay, now if I return the false, and now if I refresh this block listener or project, so now see, now we are not getting this listener print statement because we have tell block listener listen when and only the listener when returns the true. So this way we can prevent a conditional listener. We can conditionalize the listener based on certain condition. Let's say if I want that if my new value, the new upcoming value is greater than 5, then listener will listen the value. Okay, I have to define here a data type, because we as we have defined here integer data type as a our controller is a type of integer. Okay, so we have defined here the type. So now let me refresh one more time. Now if I update, see if now our next state value here, as you can see our next state value is 2, but we are not getting block listener printed. Okay, now if I click one more time, 4 times, 5 times, now as you see, as soon as the listener when condition satisfies, it start printing the listener. Okay, so in this way we can use this block listener with the listen when class. Or else one more thing that we can do, we can also use this block builder inside this block listener. Okay, so if we want to update the state, or if we want to update the UI also, then we can use a block builder inside the block listener. Okay, so let me remove this condition, and right, everything is good. See, now you can see we are updating the UI with the help of block builder, and we have conditionalized this listener to listen only when the listen when returns a true. Okay, so that's it guys. This was our part 2 of our about the block listener. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Bye bye.